Hey guys, I'm jumping on now. All of 90 seconds to warm up. Hat and bike choice with the AHDR crew. I'm sticking with the Cervelo 2020 and the DT Swiss disc for this one. Not enough climbing to make the disc a too much of a hindrance. A good sized field, obviously plenty of interest. ZRL Recon first WTRL or ZRL race on Makuri Islands. So maybe a few haven't seen this before. Probably going to be a weird, messy sort of stream with kids and things popping in and out and TV on, and it's all good. Alright, really haven't had a chance to warm up at all, so the warm up. I like this start because it's almost all downhill. So as long as you lob near the front, you're pretty good. You're set for a fairly straightforward first few Ks. Looking at the gradient, could even super tuck that bit, but they don't last long, those sections, so normally don't bother. The first sprint comes just before 5Ks. Obviously no points in this race, but it wouldn't surprise me if a few went for it, just to get a feel. So as I say, fairly to date up until that point. Enjoy the Makuri scenery for a few Ks. I really like the Cervelo and the disc for this kind of stuff. This feels like you get a bit of a discount on your wattage needed to hold the group. Really need to get some background music organized again. I accidentally wiped all of my OBS streaming settings. A little unfortunate. Interesting to see how the legs go here. Tuesday was a bit of a write-off day. First 10 minutes just sort of spelt the end of me. Never felt good, never recovered. Struggled a bit in the team time trial yesterday too. No real climbs to you, maybe Maylene, but for us heavier people, that ride after the first sprint feels like it's the third time I've raced this course, and it's been pretty full on with 6-7 minutes up that almost every time. Definitely the primary source of any aggression. Nice size group contesting this. A few off the back looks like they're just cruising around getting a feel for it. But we've got a 47 or 48 in this group. So should be competitive. Hopefully I can hold on and contest the finish. But it's a tricky one. One of my least favourites so far in Zwift, just because it's tactically tricky. It really does favour a little bit of luck. I tell you what, Maylene, I tend to feel it sort of all the way up to the top of this thing. I mean, it doesn't not suit me. That sort of 2 to 3% grind is a sort of climber I do alright. But yeah, for the heavier riders, they're gonna know all about it. Yeah, for the climbers, might be a good point actually. Might be an opportunity to take advantage of that, because I can tell you, as at what, 79, 80 kilos, that feels like a good sort of 5, 6, 7 minute climbing effort. Yeah, I'll stay the right side of the gaps. Hopefully, Maylene. Feeling okay. Legs are okay, heart rate looks good for this level of intensities. I'm sure there'll be a bit of aggression. Riders wanting to try their legs up this sort of little rise, but first we've got first intermediate sprint. Can be a bit tricky. You don't sort of see it. You sort of see it there, off to the right. That's your first visual. But you really wind your way there, so it's easy to think it's a ways off. And then suddenly you're in it, only 130 meters from the beacon. So if you're going first across the line, you need to be in a great position, from here. Faster segment, obviously, you got a bit more leeway on the positioning. You can push from further back in the group and probably catch up. You can see this way, this sort of just undulates through to the banner. Bit of a tricky one to time, but I mean, I imagine it's going to kick off well before that beacon, being only 130 meters. So somewhere shortly after you catch that first glimpse, sort of 300-400 meters away. I think there'll be a few nervous legs and early moves. And this is the section that'll be interesting. So riders go for that first sprint. If it creates a bit of a distance, and then teams want to surge or counter attack onto this rise. Not too many actually sprinting to the line there, which meant it didn't really break up. This is the steepest part of the course here. But it's short. Just got to make sure you don't get out of position. It does sort of undulate through the village though, so it's a bugger of a place to be chasing back on because of those rises and descents. Much rather burn my petrol early, be up here. You can see the stretch on the mini map as we go over this for the second bump. All in all though, it's been fairly sedate. Thought it might have been a bit, I'm not feeling it, but thought it might have been a little bit more full on. Maybe riders just happy to stick together, get a look at it first. Might see some experiment with some attacks on the last lap. You can see we're sort of like false flat kind of gradients through here. 1-2%. Enough that you have to be above your cruising wattage. And certainly if riders want to make it hard, it is a tough chase. You don't get the full benefit of the draft. You're not going 40-50 k's an hour. We're sitting around 35. It is possible to get a gap here, attack here. Seen a number try, with varying degrees of success. You might have some tired legs. The riders that have had to chase up those couple of pinches, not really recovered. You can use these risers to pick up the pace if you're feeling good, inflict some damage. These wooden bridges too are deceptive because they're also uphill, so you're going uphill and on a slower surface, so I don't know what it adds. Yes, I don't know what it adds in terms of effective gradient, but if you try and just hold your wattage up there, you probably find yourself going backwards. No sign of any aggression here though. Suspect riders are just wanting to get a good couple of laps in at race pace in the peloton. Maybe they'll play around and experiment on lap number 3. I won't be. Quite happy to hold the bunch, and I'd love to get to a bunch sprint. It's such a tricky one to time. I've only really had one go at it. The second race I did was a small field, and it sort of shattered from about 1.3 k's to go on the descent. That I don't think was a good prep race for the RL. A bit too competitive to only have 6-7 going down that last hill. Yeah, good to know, Si. I mean, I wanted an effort tonight just to kind of get a check of where I am. It wasn't a great week. So, had a pretty good sleep last night. Just trying to figure out what the next few days look like. See if we're back on form or not. Yeah, it's a good point, Maylene. That village sprint throws in another ingredient. You probably won't really see tonight. It's interesting to try and get a feel for what's that sprint going to mean? Is it close enough you could think about continuing the effort, or counter-attacking from there and going all in? Probably depends on the size of the peloton. In a small group, that might do the job. Hard to hold off a rolling group of 15 or 20 on a descent. This little kicker here got a little bit of a mention. Still a fair ways to go, but not that far from the intermediate banner. That could be a feature. My guess is no, but we'll see. The second sprint coming up now. Still got to watch the mini map. So it's only now you get to see it, and it's too late to position or start your run for a faster segment there. You sort of got to be going. I guess almost as you come into the walls, that'd be that 300 meters ish, 350. I might catch a few out. Yeah, so many interesting strategy discussions going on side with this one. It's going to be fascinating. I think we'll definitely try and get the commentary team going on Tuesday night. We might see you in there actually, just to get a feel. We found out last season that the APAC races sort of did show what it shakes out as a ZRL race compared to something like this, and we found that pattern held pretty well. So Josh and I are hoping to get the commentary box up and running this week, and yeah, I think a lot of interest in this course, this first ZRL Makuri race. This is our first look at yes, Simon, Si. I half flirted with sending my team as Zwift event link just for giggles, but decided to play it safe in case I accidentally clicked it. So we have used the race pass system this week. First tick done. This is this fast finish. You can see the speed, 73 k's an hour. Good luck to anyone going off the front. My first race here, I tried to launch about here and just hit a wall of air. I got swallowed in the last 50 meters. So I really do think it's a matter of just biding your time. You're going to need a stroke of luck just to be moving up through the field and really just burst through as close to the banner as you can, because the riders at the front You're going to be coming backwards pretty quick. I remember that race. And my 15-second power numbers were clearly better than the races that I lost to, just because they timed it that much better. And I was just whacking away into the wind for 150 meters at 67 k's an hour, just like a wall. They were sitting in the draft and just swamped me. That wasn't a bad first lap. Andy, I'd be very surprised if it's this relaxed on Wednesday morning for us. Couple had a little go at the sprints, but most of this field is having a look. We did stretch, out single, double file coming up into the village, but what did we lose? About 16 or 17. We had 40, nearly 50 early on in the race. We're down to 31, so it did its damage. Yeah, Marlene, I think we're going to be sort of in survival mode as well. That I was saying to the guys, it's just a weight of numbers wins ZRL races. If you've got the majority, the most riders in the lead group, chances are things are going to shake out your way. So we've sort of got a bit of a plan in place to mix up the first across the line and fastest time. I think fastest time is really interesting because you've got 3 laps and only 10 positions. So if one team gets a grip and just can hold 3, 4, 5 of those spots, you're forcing everybody out. That's a massive margin to try and overcome. Particularly if you can get those real premium points for the top 3 spots. Like you knock someone off from first to second, second to third, that's a 10-point swing. So we'll definitely be looking at our weapons, where are our strengths, have those riders placed accordingly. We flirted with some more exotic strategy elements, but the first 10 minutes of last week isn't even going to go by. That's just sort of going to be a bit attritional, and good luck, really trying to break it up. Yeah, we're blessed with pretty good engines in the bombers. Aileen. Yeah, tough course. Again for the lighter riders, I guess. This descent, not as good a recovery as it is for many of the guys in our team. We're really quite happy. This is recovery time for them. And they're cruising at 2.5 high 2s. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's probably not enough of a rise for the lightweight riders to really get ahead. Hasn't been in the other times I've raced it. You guys will go well in the second race around Makuri though, Maylene. Up that gravel. 3 times up the gravel. That'll be your time to shine. Heart rate monitor's annoying me. Gotta get that fixed. We'll find a whole nother way to get DQ'd. You know, it's awesome, Aileen, that we've got that pony squad. Sort of the development squad. The other guys have been around. You know, been around the block all 3 seasons now. So at least you've got no shortage of experienced riders to lean on. So, and this will be where things kick off. That second sprint again. And once again, you can't wait for the beacon. Probably can't even really wait till you see the banner. You'll have to go earlier than that. I've been a bit lazy through there. I wouldn't get away with that on Wednesday. But I don't think in this recon race that they're going to be pushing on too hard. Yeah, Maylene, that DQ last week was just user error. But thankfully we got sorted. So coming back together here. Second climb. Nice little landmark there, Andy. I'll try that next time. This is stringing a bit again. No attacks here yet. I just sort of rolled through there. Nice. Bit of stretch. Chat delay. May have just been me, mainly. Bit slow to read. Alright. We'll survive that again. One rider. Give me a little tickle. We may have dropped a couple. But not too much damage. We're over halfway. The arrows there on Tuesday, Maylene. I don't think what else. I might know if he's still watching. The draft is there. Maybe Feather. Hoping not the burrito. Useless thing that it is. Looking forward to hitting the top of this. It always just feels like it drags so much. Keeps hitting you with these little surges, 3%, plus the wood. Hit me too, Maylene. Feel that riding through mud. Nice sedate group though. My heart rate's not quite matching my received effort. Fraction high. I'm feeling better than 170. It's not a bad little section before that second sprint. Can't relax totally, but definitely better than the previous bit up over those bridges. Yeah, sorry, afraid so, Maylene. Only a risk. That last little bump before the second intermediate. And with the wood thread in for good measure. I think this group are going to be happy to all around test their legs in a bunch sprint. Yeah. I'm looking for a landmark here. If you can't see the banner, maybe it's this corner. Sort of starting to pick up speed, find your position through here, and really accelerating by this corner. Maybe it's a fraction long, but Wouldn't be far after. Gonna hold these aero to the finish. Alright. Bit of recovery now. This has been good though. Haven't really been under any extreme duress. I think I'll just pedal this descent rather than popping in and out of super tuck. Maybe different if, maybe different coming off the sprint actually. I might just really feel like just stopping for a bit. Just gotta watch, watch the speed and this changing gradient. Make sure you're not left behind. Last lap though, it's definitely a pedal descent. Just to have that control over positioning in the bunch that little bit more. Doing a race, Betty? Well, a couple of my friends are watching because we need to race on this course next week. We're going to race on Wednesday. Yeah, it's like a practice race. Curious 4-year-old in the background there. The sunscreen from earlier today is dripping into my eye, just to add something to the degree of difficulty. Nice little recovery here. Get ready for that final countryside sprint on the climb. I like the Cervelo, Brad, and the disc. Sort of not enough climbing, disadvantage it, and I just feel like you get a few watts off everywhere else. I'll try and find that bus stop, Andy. I haven't seen any buses though. You're waiting a while. Yeah. No public transport around Makuri and COVID times. Got it. Make for an interesting gameplay element. I don't know if you could draft a bus. Like racing Toad's Turnpike in Mario Kart. These little 2% rides are just enough to be annoying 40 minutes into a race. Feel it picking my heart rate up that little bit. Really is a lovely long section. I guess everyone's getting the same respite, but on that sort of rider that is punchy but needs the time off. Yeah, the comedic timing probably well off between me reading and responding and the vagaries of the internet connection. If I was actually funny, I'd probably have a few more subscribers. Yeah. So 25 in the bunch. We lost a couple up that last rise. Yeah, buddy, it's on. I think so. 10. No. Oh, yeah, I see the bus stop. Yeah, nice one, Andy. There's a bus stop. And yeah, I agree, you'd want to be certainly winding up and launching somewhere in between there and here. Which reminds me, I should get a wriggle on. Yeah, Brad, that's a nice way to do it. Maybe easier than it's going to be on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. If you're the fastest, you get the green jersey. You'd like that. Your favourite colour, buddy. No. No. 25th. Oh. Almost the last, yeah, buddy. For now. This one. At the back. Yeah, that's me, buddy.
Why are you wearing that too?
Everyone has to wear it this race. This is their club.
Hey, this is a great flag.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. I gotta get a bit closer to the front. So this is the big hill. Yeah, sprinters race Brad, but he's got to survive this thing.
2, 34, 13, 16, 8, 11, 4, 11, 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 10.
Alright, little mix. That hurt though. I haven't even been sprinting. Yeah, I don't like it, Brad. I think just try and survive. Keep as many bombers in the front group as we can. Yeah, Brad, I reckon that's the tactics. Maximize those points on the finish line. Looking for the line a bit here. Happy to get up this hill. Looks like I'll get my bunch kick practice. Can you nullify the sprint as well? The big question. You had an amazing 7-minute power. Maybe you'd really drag them up here after that first prime. Maybe blow some up, but it's a tough ask. Yeah, we got a good squad for this course, Brad. Andy, really good squad. If Dylan and I can bring some better legs, we'll be really well placed. I like the questions, Maylene. They distract me, especially this last lap. Starting there. I got the white helmet on, buddy. At the front. Yeah. Not too far to go now, bud.
Mommy, what do you get?
I will. Come watch the sprint. You can say go Dada. Soon. Good call, Andy. Not very interesting. I didn't start on the bike till I was like 28. So you get everything before that. Didn't discover Zwift till I was, what, 34. So plus just beginning. I'm surprised the chat's so bad, guys. Normally pretty on point, I think. Yeah. See if we can get this timing right. So these corners, do positioning, and as you're around this corner, you're probably on the gas about 250. And kick it up a little bit here. Alright, so these last 2Ks. We just want to be at the front. It's going to be hard to make up position. And you've got to get the timing just exquisite. So the aero helps. What you've got to be careful of. You can shuffle back like that. Happens so easily. Staying attentive. Now, first across the line every lap, Brad. No need to go. Flattens out a little here. Once again, just shuffle back a bit there, but okay. Alright, moving on the front. Picking up gears now. Holding. Just missed sorry. I think a bit late. Oh, let's see, buddy. Third. Yeah. Looks like it.
The one that looks like this birdie, I can okay.
Yeah.
It might be it.
Oh.
This birdie.
Yeah, Dan, those margins are going to be very slim. Tenths of a second, that one. Hundredths, possibly. Even down to sixth. You know, 1/2 of a second there. I was probably just that bit apprehensive to go, knowing last time I hit the front too early. Going a fraction late there. Probably still had. I mean, the fact that I'm not slumped over on the handlebars means that I still had something in the tank. So had I been 5 points closer, yeah, that's salty already. Yeah, if I was that bit closer, then probably timing was right. But from where I was, 3, 4, 5 bike lengths back, probably had to be closer to 200 instead of 150. But that's what I wanted. Nice experiment. I got fed, Betty. What do you mean, which of these, Betty? Number 3. What?
What you got?
My 4-year-old has got a lot of questions. Which number? The position up there? Or the one with the green jersey? Yeah, that was for a different part. That's just a countdown to decide what to do next. Oh, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope that was useful. It was very useful for me, anyway. Nice to have another crack at that final sprint under the belt. That feels good to have that sorted. Feeling more confident about the timing there. Actually hoping that someone goes long. I'd love to follow a long attack at that speed in the wheel. That's perfect. So we'll wait and see. Chat during the week, and good luck Tuesday, Wednesday.